This is Mamuni. Thank you so much for being Amar Baba.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to solve a single column cash book problem. So let's get started without wasting any time. Chalo, shuru kara jak. I have already told you, cash book does not record credit transactions. Cash book only records cash transactions. Cash receipts are recorded on the debit side and cash payments are recorded on the credit side. And single column cash book does not record checks received or checks paid, because in a single column cash book only cash column is given, not bank column. Okay, so any transactions related to bank will not be recorded in the cash book. Okay, so banking transactions won't be recorded in the cash book because there is no column for bank. In a double column cash book, there is a cash column as well as a bank column. সেখানে ক্যাশ কলামে ক্যাশ ট্রানজ্যাকশনস রেকর্ড হয় আর ব্যাঙ্ক কলামে any transactions related to bank are recorded in the bank column. Okay, so let's go through the problem. So this is the problem, cash book single column. So enter the following transactions in a single column cash book. Here is the column of date, here is the column of transactions, and here is the column of amount. So what is the first transaction? The first transaction is on 1st April, balance of cash in hand is 2000. So there will be no journal entry and no narration for the first transaction because balance of cash in hand means opening balance of cash is given in the problem. So we'll have to write on the debit side in the cash book to balance BD 2000. Okay, so let's write. So in the books of Baba, we'll write cash book single column on 1st April to balance BD to balance BD how much? 2000. Okay, now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 5th April, invested further capital of 8000, out of which 3000 deposited in the bank. See, this is not a simple journal entry. This is a compound journal entry or composite journal entry. That means there will be 2 debits and 1 credit. So let me show you. So the journal entry will be cash account debit, cash account debit, bank account debit, to capital account credit. Now let's see the amount. Now what is the amount? On 5th April, invested further capital of 8000. Capital is 8000. So we'll have to write 8000 to capital account. Now, invested further capital 8000, out of which 3000 deposited in the bank. Bank কত ডিপোজিট করেছে? 3000. Out of 8000, 3000 ব্যাংকে ডিপোজিট করেছে. That means what? 8000 থেকে 3000 has been deposited into bank. তাহলে cash কত? 8000 minus 3000, 5000 is cash. So let's write. See, cash account. Let me divide this compound journal entry into 2 simple journal entries. Cash account to capital account. How much? 5000. This is 1. Cash account to capital account 5000. আরেকটা কি হবে? There will be another journal entry. Bank account to capital account 3,000. Understood? This is the second simple journal entry. These two simple journal entries have been combined into one compound journal entry. So, compound journal entry te ki ache? Cash account debit, bank account debit to capital account. Cash account how much? 5,000. Bank account how much? 3,000. Capital account 8,000. Since cash book only records cash transactions, no bank transactions. So, আমাদের কোনটা রেকর্ড করতে হবে? Only cash account to capital account. I have divided the compound journal entries into two simple journal entries so that you can understand. One will be cash account to capital account 5,000. We have to record this. Bank account to capital account, we can't record. Why? Because cash book only records cash transactions. Why? See. Cash account is on the debit side. I have already told you, in order to record in a single column cash book, cash account should be either on the debit side or on the credit side. Otherwise, we can't record journal entry. Okay? In order to record a journal entry in a single column cash book, cash account should be either on the debit side or on the credit side. আমরা যদি জার্নাল এন্ট্রিটাকে সিঙ্গেল কলাম ক্যাশবুকে রেকর্ড করতে চাই তাহলে আমাদের কি দেখতে হবে? আমাদের অলওয়েজ দেখতে হবে ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট ডেবিটে থাকতে হবে অথবা ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট ক্রেডিটে থাকতে হবে। যদি ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট ডেবিটেও নেই ক্রেডিটেও নেই তাহলে সেটা আমরা সিঙ্গেল কলাম ক্যাশবুকে রেকর্ড করতে পারবো না। ওয়াই? বিকজ সিঙ্গেল কলাম ক্যাশবুক only records cash transactions and no transactions relating to bank or banking transactions. See here, debit a bank account, credit a capital account. There is no cash account. So this journal entry won't be recorded in the single column cash book. That is the reason I have divided the compound journal entry into two simple journal entry. First one we can record because there is a cash account on the debit side. But credit side a capital ache. Ekhano credit side a capital ache. But debit side a bank account. So there has to be one cash account at least, either on the debit side or on the credit. In order to be recorded in a single column cash book, you got to have one cash account either on the debit side or on the credit side. The first simple journal entry te amra cash account pachi, cash account debit to capital account 5,000. Arekta simple journal entry te amra ki pachi, bank account debit to capital account, there is no cash account. So this will not be recorded in a single column cash book. Okay. Cash account debit, bank account debit to capital account means the proprietor has invested 8,000 into the business. But out of 8,000, 3,000 he has deposited into bank. So কত পড়ে থাকছে? 8,000 minus 3,000, 5,000. So capital হিসেবে ও বিজনেসে ইনভেস্ট করলো only 5,000, not 8,000 because ও ব্যাংকে 3,000 deposit করে দিয়েছে। So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the debit side, capital account will also be on the debit side. So we'll have to write to capital account in the cash book on the debit side 5,000. Understood? So let's write. 5th April to capital account. How much? 5,000. Being cash introduced as capital. And moreover, cash book is a real account. So according to real account, what comes in is debit. Here, when the proprietor introduced capital into the business, the cash comes into the business from the point of view of the business. So 5,000 will be debited. Okay. So let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 10th April, electricity charges paid 2,500. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be electricity account debit to cash account. So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, electricity account will also be on the credit side. So we'll have to write by electricity account in the cash book on the credit side 2,500. Okay. So let's write 10th April by electricity account 2500. Narration is a must, otherwise marks will be deducted in the exam. And moreover, cash book is a journal also, being electricity charges paid. And moreover, cash book is a real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. Here, when electricity charges is paid, cash goes out from the business. So 2500 will be credited. Understood? So let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 15th April, dividend received by check 5000. What is the journal entry? The journal entry is dividend account debit to check. Dividend account debit, check means bank. Dividend account debit to bank account 5000. This will not be recorded in a single column cash book. Why? Let me tell you once again. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be dividend account debit to bank account. Can you record this in a single column cash book? I have already explained earlier. Right? Dividend account is on the debit side, and on the credit side there is bank account. There is no cash account either on the debit side or on the credit side. I have told you, in order to be recorded in a single column cash book, you got to have a cash account either on the debit side or on the credit side. How can you record this in a single column cash book? Single column cash book only records cash transactions because there is only one column that is for cash transactions, cash receipts and cash payments. Had it been a double column cash book, we would have easily written by dividend account in the cash book on the credit side. Because since bank is on the credit side, dividend will also be on the credit side. We should have written by dividend account in the cash book. Had it been a double column এ কি হয়? একটা ক্যাশ কলাম হয়, একটা ব্যাংক কলাম হয়। তাহলে আমরা কি করতাম? ব্যাংক ট্রানজাকশনসগুলো ব্যাংক কলামে করতাম। তাহলে ইজিলি আমরা কি লিখতে পারতাম? বাই ডিভিডেন্ড অ্যাকাউন্ট 5000 in the bank column. But single column cash book এ কোনো ব্যাংক কলাম নেই। So that is the reason we cannot record this journal entry. Okay? কারণ ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট ডেবিটেও নেই, ক্রেডিটও নেই। ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট যদি ডেবিটে হতো বা ক্রেডিটে হতো, আমরা এটা সিঙ্গেল কলাম ক্যাশ বুকে রেকর্ড করতে পারতাম। ওকে, আন্ডারস্টুড? সো ইনস্টেড we'll have to write a short note. How will we write? Let me show you. Note: there will be no journal entry in the cash book for dividend received by check on 15th April 2022, since single column cash book records only cash transactions and no checks received or checks paid. Okay, now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 20th April bought goods for cash 8000. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be purchases account debit to cash account. I have already told you ignore goods because goods are purchased for resale. So ignore goods. So purchases account to cash account. So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, we'll have to write purchases account also on the credit side. So we'll have to write by purchases account in the cash book on the credit side 8000. Okay, so let's write. So 20th April by purchases account. So by purchases account 8000, being goods bought for cash. And moreover, cash book is a real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. Here, when goods are purchased, cash goes out from the business. So 8000 will be credited. Okay, now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 23rd April, wages paid 3500. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be wages account debit to cash account. So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, wages account will also be on the credit side. So we'll have to write by wages account in the cash book on the credit side 3500. Okay, so let's write 23rd April By wages account 3,500 being wages paid. Moreover, cash book is a real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. Here, when wages paid, cash goes out from the business. So 3,500 will be credited. Okay. Now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 26th April, sold goods for cash 10,000. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be cash account debit to sales account. Instead of goods, we'll write sales account. So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the debit side, we'll have to write sales account on the debit side too. So we'll have to write to sales account in the cash book on the debit side 10,000. Okay, so let's write 26th April to sales account. How much? 10,000. Being goods sold for cash. Moreover, cash book is a real account. According to real account, what comes in is debit. Here, when goods are sold, cash comes into the business. So 10,000 will be debited. Okay. Now let's see the last transaction. The last transaction is on 30th April, salary paid 1,000. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be salary account debit to cash account. What is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, salary will also be on the credit side. So we'll have to write by salary account in the cash book on the credit side 1,000. Okay. So let's write by salary account 1,000 being salary paid. Moreover, cash book is a real account. So according to real account, what goes out is credit. Here, when salary is paid, cash goes out from the business. So 1,000 will be credited. Okay. Now let's calculate the total of debit column and the total of credit column. Okay. So the total of debit column is 17,000 and the total of credit column is 15,000. But can we write 15,000? No. The rule is whichever is greater. Since the total of debit column is 17,000 and the total of credit column is 15,000, তো আমরা কোনটা লিখবো? আমরা লিখবো 17,000. Why? This is the rule. যেই সাইডটা বড় হবে তার টোটালি আমরা দুটো সাইডে লিখবো. But there is a shortfall on the credit side. So we have to balance the credit side. So we'll write the last day in the month of April, always 30th April, by balance CD. What is by balance CD? This is the closing cash or cash in hand. CD কত হবে? This is the actually balancing figure. The total of debit column is 17,000. Total of credit column is 15,000. So deduct 15,000 from 17,000. You'll get 2,000. So 2,000 is the closing cash of Baba. So Baba's closing cash is 2,000. ঠিক আছে? Baba's closing cash কত? 2,000. This closing cash will be the opening cash. So we'll have to write to balance BD. Always by balance CD will be brought down beneath the debit total because Baba has not shut down the business. Baba will continue the business. So to balance BD 2,000. This is the closing cash and this closing cash will become the opening cash and the date will be the next day, 1st May. Okay. Now see, the cash book has been balanced. Debit side 17,000, credit side 17,000. There was a shortfall of 2,000, but we have balanced it. I sincerely hope you understood. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your precious time. I sincerely hope this was helpful. And before I fade out, please remember, if your parents are still alive, they are still with you. Be thankful to God that you still have time to love them, to care for them, to appreciate them, to respect them, to hold their hands and to pour out your heart to them. Because you won't get this chance again and you'll regret the most after they have left the world. Because one day we won't get this chance again, because with each passing day we are moving towards the time when they will not be with us anymore and will regret our whole life after they leave the world, and we won't be able to hold their hands again. We can only have them in our heart, mind, thoughts, prayers, conversations, tears, smiles, memories, and dreams. So let's appreciate our parents. Let's love our parents. Let's care for our parents. Let's give attention to them when they're still with us, because there is no substitute for parents, because their love is the purest love on earth. You will never get another set of parents. Bye bye. Take care. Stay safe and stay blessed always.